Hey, this is Jamie from Capsule Computers, and today we are reviewing Raiders of the Broken Planet. This asymmetrical third-person shooter is available now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. At the time of the recording of this video, the first campaign cost $9.99 US. There are 3 more campaigns scheduled to launch in the coming months, and they will all carry the same price. I really want to love Raiders of the Broken Planet. I really do. There are a lot of cool ideas that buck the trend of the tired third-person shooter genre that, in theory, is exciting. Unfortunately, Mercury's team has fumbled the execution. After my first hour of gameplay, I realized the game reminded me a lot of the third-person shooters coming out of Japan during the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. Japanese developers at the time were releasing a very Japanese take on a Western genre with some mixed success, a storyline that probably sounds very similar to the Raiders of the Broken Planet. The game balances third-person shooting with a rock-paper-scissors-based melee system where striking is countered by dodging, which is countered by grappling, which is countered by striking. In theory, great idea, but rock, paper, scissors is dependent on balance. In Raiders, striking is king for 3 main reasons. 1, grappling is an instant kill, so it's so much safer to just react with a strike and possibly take some damage for getting it wrong. 2nd, it's only possible to grapple the AI under very specific circumstances. Either the AI needs to be grappled from behind, or when the elite enemy is in a down state, otherwise the player is immediately punished with a kick to the gut. Finally, grappling takes a few moments to charge up, leaving the player completely vulnerable as they lunge forward. This leaves grappling as a very niche move reserved for ambushing an enemy as they walk around a corner, giving players time to charge the grapple animation. The stress system is one gameplay mechanic Mercury's team did get right. It's an interesting extension of the traditional get into cover and regenerate your health deal that is used by pretty much everyone at this point. Every action beyond walking, reloading, or hiding behind cover will increase the character's stress levels, making them light up like a Christmas tree. Stressed characters are more likely to draw aggro from AI characters, are visible to the player-controlled antagonist, and can't regenerate their health. The controls are a bit different from the standard third-person shooter, for better or for worse. The controls are designed to be simple even for controller standards. A lot of the movements, like sprint and ducking into cover, is done automatically, and the game generally does a really good job at it. On the other hand, some weird design decisions like skipping the ability to shoot when not in aim mode, and really poor menu layouts mar the game. The spawn system is a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, the single respawn pool for the entire team does a good job balancing out the game's difficulty when the team has a serious skill gap among the players. On the other hand, since players can technically have an unlimited pool of respawns as long as they can survive the ever-increasing timer to refill the spawn pool, means that teams are encouraged to engage in lame camping tactics to prolong the match against an antagonist. These long matches give the antagonist little feel of progression or success during a match, and make the role of antagonist feel like a repetitive chore. The maps are pretty weak. There are only a handful of attack-defend objectives that feel recycled. It's not a good feeling when the game's only 4 missions long, plus 1 free mission from the prologue. Even more disappointing are the boss fights, which tend to be really simple in nature. The writing is pretty weak. Multiplayer games tend to struggle with storytelling in the first place due to the short windows of opportunity to tell their story. Raiders compounds a problem by limiting themselves to 4 missions to tell a single story that must be self-contained. The shallow storytelling is worsened by the slight awkwardness to the writing. There are moments where the game feels like it was written by someone who speaks English as a second language, as small words or phrases are slipped in incorrectly. It's most obvious when some of the swearing is used in the game. The worst writing, however, is saved for the campaign's main villain. Based on the pitifully low number of lines, the clashing delivery in the voice acting, and the lack of consistency of the character, it feels like the villain was a last-minute addition. The audiovisual experience in Raiders of the Broken Planet is solid. The art style has a dusty, post-apocalyptic look with some steampunk and sci-fi influences. The character design is excellent and does a great job of distinguishing the separate factions. The audio is good on a whole, though the voice acting for the main villain really clashes with the writing. One of Raiders of the Broken Planet's biggest problem is their monetization and currency strategy. It's an absolute mess. There are 3 separate currencies that can be earned from gameplay for a variety of uses. The main currency is gold, and it's used for everything from unlocking characters to discovering more about the game's already thin lore. On top of it, Mercury's premium currency, purchased with real money, is for skins and shortcutting the unlock for other characters. Now, I'm hoping the main point of having this ability to purchase character is to be able to unlock characters introduced in other campaigns without actually having to buy those campaigns. But having to purchase one of those characters that comes with the campaign you just bought with gold or real money is plain offensive out of principle. We saw this happen in games like Battleborn and Evolve, and it didn't turn well for either of them. I really wanted to love Raiders, but the game's execution has been terrible. I suspect putting the game on early access and developing the game based on player feedback while Mercury's team finished making all 4 campaigns would have been a better strategy. I'm giving the game 5 capsules out of 10. If you want to read our full review, be sure to check out the link in the description or in the video's card. I hope to see you soon. This is Jamie from Capsule Computers signing off. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to Capsule Computers for more awesome videos. If you're looking for more videos to watch, check out our review of Divinity Original Sin 2 here on the left. And if you're looking for another third-person shooter to play, why don't you check out our review of Agents of Mayhem here on the right.